going on, everyone? I had a couple questions last week and I forgot to get to, so I'm going to do that now to get started. I had a question on GPL. I'm not sure if GPL is in here. Great Panther, I do believe. There we go. Here's my paper trade that I bought a long time ago. Looking a nice churn here on the daily. I got an outside day, bullish encompassing the previous candles. It's trying to get into previous lows. Once you get into previous lows, breaking into the next range. That looks like a good pop. You still have resistance on the way up. Look for a pop across the daily 34. Make sure you get above the 34. Looks like a nice J curve forming on the 8 crossing. So usually we see that and we just get a nice little pop. So that's a daily chart. Let's look at the long term. Nasty little double top there. But it's coming into support. So hopefully we can get a churn out of this. And what we're looking for ultimately is a pop above the $2 range. Daily's got to perform better. That monthly candle right there is pretty nasty. So watch out below, as it could be an ultimate double top. But if this comes down into support and then pops right back out, it won't confirm that double top. I say you got to take out that double top. It's pretty anonymous. Nice U, nice cup, nice handle. Let's see if we can get a churn out of this and get a pop. It's riding above support. Make sure you stay above support. That 34 is our ultimate trend, and that's pointing up. It looks like we're going to get a cross of the 8 coming down in. Hopefully we can get a pop across before that happens. Cup and handle. But just because it's a cup and handle doesn't mean it's bullish. Patterns do fail. I got plenty of support. Apparently that's where I bought it last time. It's coming all the way back into support. But definitely a double top. You need to take that out. Above 2 and on. Too hard to say. It's bearish until you take out that double top on the weekly. But the daily looks like a nice little churn coming. Cross below the 34, back into resistance, and accumulated all through here. And now we're getting a little spike down, exhaustion move, held support. Now it's breaking previous highs into previous lows. I would say get above 190 and up. 2's definitely, you got another double top right here at 2. So definitely need to get above 2 during this next little run. Daily's bullish, but on the weekly you got to take out that double top. Pretty anonymous. But nice cup and handle. That just has to confirm on the upside to complete the pattern. And it's far from that. 230. See what happens. The next one is PVG. Someone had a question about PVG. Another resources company. Looks like we have a long-term downward trend line. Needs to pop over that trend line. Watch for a bullish run across that. Looks like it's building pretty nicely into that long-term trend line. So you had a previous high, and then we came up to an opposing point, so now we have a trend line. The upward trend line is pretty steep. So we're in a long-term pattern dating back 2012. So if it breaks that trend line, this would be a multi-year trend line break. Be pretty nice. And you can see the resistance of that trend line as it comes into resistance, comes back into support. Now we have a pattern. Came back out of the pattern, whipsawed back in, held support at a double bottom. It looks like you got another throwback here. So it looks like it's either going to come back into support, because right now it's pretty much in a pretty tight pinch between the 8 and the downward trend line, which forever it's been rejected on that trend line. But now price is in a pinch. It's either going to come down into support, hopefully a higher low, or that was the final throwback and it's going to pop across. We'll see that fairly soon. I think that's the best advice I can give on that. The daily, you can see the throwback into support. Watch how is it going to stay above the 34 on that throwback? See the whipsaw came through, double bottom. See if it'll pop from here. It's at support. We got the 8 and the 13 across the 34. So it pops across, comes back into support. You got previous highs over here. Let's get above previous highs, stay above previous highs, keep building, 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 pop. And it looks like a very weird left shoulder, right shoulder. Left, right. So it looks like a reverse head and shoulders at the top here. Oh. Boom. So watch for a pop across, flat top break across 1140. That downward trend line, use that as your support. Anything above 11, follow it on up. So those are the two stocks. Someone had a question about the future of gold and silver. Where do I think it's going to go? Pretty much. I guess that was the question. Long term, I got a reverse head and shoulders. I'm looking for a flat top break above 1260. If it breaks 1260, it'll move up into the next range. We should be able to reach the height of the previous highs. So once we get up to there, then we can talk and see if it's going to break through there. This week I anticipate a pop across. They are printing contracts left and right. Open interest on gold and silver is so high, but yet price keeps flirting with new bullish moves. And whatever they're doing over there, raising interest rates and printing contracts to hold gold and silver down. The LBMA price fix, someone stepped down from that. I don't think they can hold it down forever. I think the story goes, that they can manipulate the daily ins and outs, but the long-term trend they can't touch. So what they're doing is manipulating the daily swings or the intraday swings. But the long-term trend, I don't think they can mess with that, and they're having a hard time. You can see on the monthly, we need to get above that 8. Nice accumulation here, popped across the 34 into support. We're looking for a previous high break. Ultimately across 350. Right now on the daily, we're looking to get that previous high break into those previous highs. So let's break here. Let's have a daily breakout. Then we can reach the previous highs on that monthly chart. And break this monthly chart breakout right here. If we break there, I would take a measured move, which is the top of the pattern, the bottom of the pattern. So is that 250 points? 1350 and 1150. So let's just call it plus 200 points. And then you just take a measured move from here. So 200 points. So it looks like we'll get into the 1350 upwards into next previous lows. You see how that works? Take the measured move, take the break, it'll get you into the next previous lows. So what's my goal? I want to get up in the previous breaks. If the markets weren't so manipulated, I would say that this was easy, because the bullish pattern, we had a nice accumulation pattern for months, came across, came in. There's a bullish retracement right there. That's a bullish consolidation phase. In my opinion, we should have been there and done that already. So I don't, let's get into previous highs. Let's break this previous lows, this previous pattern, into the next pattern. Once we get up into here, if we have a flat top break at 360, we should get into the previous lows. So 1260 will get us to 1350. If 1350 breaks, we should get into the next previous lows in here. That's a long-term outlook. And it all depends if we can start from the bottom. We need a previous high break at 1260. 1260 into here. How long that's going to take to get up in here after the break, I don't know. Volume is the key. But it doesn't help that they're printing contracts to hold it down. Their way of diluting on the futures. So I don't know. I mean, it should have happened already, in my opinion. We should be $10,000 gold, in my opinion. So that's my outlook on gold. Let's look at silver real quick. Now silver is a very small market. Silver is different because they are not only are they printing contracts left and right, but industry needs silver, so it's going to be more rare than gold. As you know, silver is an industrial metal, as well as precious, as well as monetary. So it's going to be one of these things where silver is going to have bigger moves upward than gold is. And again, we're looking for that flat top break. This time, though, we have a downward trend line that's going to be broken. And once that long-term, let's see, August, beginning of July was the downturn. Came all the way back into support 6 months later, and now we're climbing into resistance. We're at resistance once. This line is not perfect, so bear with me. We take the first opposing point, comes down, we hit that line first, came back into support, now we're breaking. Silver is doing good. It's breaking outside of its range. That flat top break should get us back into previous highs. So let's talk when it hits 21. Once it hits 21, it's probably going to come back into support. 1850 is a big breakout point for the long-term chart. So let's do that first. Let's break 1850. Let's get where we need to go. But again, how many contracts do they have to print and dilute this futures market, paper market? I don't know. But the same thing on the monthly. We had a very bad downturn from 2011's highs. And then this is where I started to do the videos down in here. We came all the way into the 34 where the trend changes, came back into support. So on a monthly chart, we need to get above and into the next range, which is about 1850 on up. So first and foremost, let's get out of this. Let's get above the 34 first. Come back into support. We'll do that bullish retracement across. Let's get into the 1850 range over here. Once we get above 1850, we'll come back into support, and then we can start. Again, do the measured move. 21 to 15. That's 16. It's $5. $5 from 21 is 26. Where's the previous lows? You see how that works? It's like clockwork. But one thing has to lead to another. I can't just say, oh, we're down here, we're going to be up here in May. It doesn't work that way. So there you go. That's my outlook. We are in a bullish phase, trend changing opportunity here on gold and silver. What we need to do is make a higher high. Higher high on both gold and silver. Alright, so I want to thank everyone for throwing some ideas for me on monetizing my site. Just to let everyone know, I'm a busy guy. I do have one client for stocks, and hopefully he'll give me a recommendation letter out there. And he's pretty happy. He gives me 10% of everything that he makes, and he gives me a monthly fee for education. And pretty sure that I've changed his outlook. Pretty sure I changed his trading habits, and he seems to like it. We're going on the 3rd month here for the same deal, and it seems to be working out for the both of us. We trade the first hour of the morning, and I do 3 hours of education as well on Sundays so we can do a market review. But other than that, I run a shop. I sell steel buildings, portable buildings for someone, and if I do that for him, he lets me sit there and do my own thing. I manage, I think it's 10 websites that I have clients for. I build the websites and I create leads for these local businesses. I have a juice shop, which is e-juice. I make custom electronic e-juice for people to help them quit smoking, and probably helped probably a dozen people in the past 2 years, 3 years to help them quit smoking. I wish I could go open up a juice shop and trade all day, but I still have to work. So I got a lot going on. If I don't get to your questions right away, don't hate me. And I want to put a shout out. There's been about 3 people out there that contacted me, letting me know what they think I should do to monetize the site, and I'm taking into consideration all avenues. I don't think YouTube's the place. Everyone that bought that video for the daily, what was it, the weekly update or the miners update, I don't even know where that money went. It's just like a mystery. It's like in the ether, and there's no accountability on YouTube's part. I can't keep track of what's going on. So it's just a terrible, terrible idea, business plan, platform that YouTube has if you want to charge for your videos. And so for now, I'm going to keep the videos free. So let's get on with the review. Start with the dollar. Dollar is key. Where's the dollar going to go? Where is the dollar going to go? It looks like we opened down for the month. Start with the daily. The dollar is still is in danger of this revert or this head and shoulders top on the daily chart. It's also shown on the weekly. Right now, we came across support and whipsawed right back into resistance. Right now, we're being rejected by resistance, but it did come and smacked it really hard. What I'm looking at here is a V bottom. This has to make an opposing point. Let's see if that, when this gets rejected and starts coming back in, let's see if that opposing point will hold support or will it just fall on over. Is this the bearish retracement? I think it is. But so far, it crossed over the 34 and it's bearish retraced all the way into resistance pretty hard too. Like it's not a, it looks like it's not a bearish retracement. The cross below the 34 back into resistance is the bearish retracement. So what am I saying? I'm saying look for the opposing point because the V bottoms don't work. Look for the opposing point, find that trend, and if that trend line holds, it could totally negate this whole pattern. But right now, it looks like it's churning over. It's just taking forever. It's saved by the bell, as they always come out. But right now, it's a bearish retracement. We got resistance. Look for that opposing point. If it doesn't hold, watch out below. Because pretty much no man's land once it crosses down. Got a big old void here that needs to fill. And patterns like this usually do not take one measured move. They'll take 2 measured moves. So it's literally a watch out below if that breaks down. And the weekly. So weekly right now, we're bouncing off the previous highs. It's well below the previous highs. Well, actually right at previous highs, but we got a cross on the weekly, which momentum has died. We made a top, came back in, bearish retraced, got knocked back. Now we're coming back in. Let's see if resistance holds. And watch out as it crosses down across here. It's still bearish to me. It's just got saved by the bell. And see what happens. So far this evening, it's opening down. S&P. I'm going to reverse head and shoulders on the hourly. Still working that 2-bar reversal. That has been in play since the lower high came in. This is still in play. Bearish retraced, got rejected, got rejected. Now I got a reversal bar above support. Let's see if it'll hold. Momentum's got to carry into the next above previous highs. But is that a rejection? I'm not sure yet. 2-bar pattern still in play. We had a spike low and now a lower high. Excuse me, a higher low. So is that going to hold? And then we got lower highs. So not much of a pattern yet. This has to develop still. I'm thinking we follow that that trend line for our support. So look for it to come back into support. See if it'll twist and turn inside this pattern. It got a flat bottom. It's descending. It doesn't look good for S&P, the dollar, the Dow. Same thing. And the NASDAQ. Where's the NASDAQ today? What happened? Let's see. Let's get into this here. Reversal here, reversal there. Look for flat top break. It busted out, came into support. Looks like it's running back up. Let's take care of my crap. That's the 4-hour. I got a falling star. Double bottom. I got wicks pointing up. I got tri-tips. It's trying to hold on. Looks like momentum's dying on it, but it came down into support and bounced pretty hard. Is that the final bounce? Not sure. Look for previous low breaks on the longer term charts. This is highly manipulated. I mean, I can't explain what that that bullish move is right there at the top of the chart. It just looks like it's been saved by the bell. Little plunge protection team coming in at the last second. And you got to realize NASDAQ, I think 30% of the whole market is Google and Apple. So it's highly concentrated on 2 stocks alone. And it's pretty lame, actually. It's not a good, it's very biased. I don't like it. I don't like the equity markets at all. Look how steep that line is. Remember I keep saying the steeper the line, the less the support. And that candle right there, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, let's look deeper and see what that was. That was the that was this right here, I believe. So it was breaking down. You can see how it's breaking down, and then all of a sudden the next candle opens, and it opens at the top of the candle. I don't even know how to explain that. It broke down, closed on its lows, near its lows, closing below previous lows, and then the next candle opens up at the top of the candle and runs. I don't know how to explain that. It's totally off the wall. So watch out below on all 3 of those. Shanghai, the composite. Looks like we have a short-term breakdown. Looks like it's doubling back off of support. And you can see the cup and handle. The cup and handle. Still back into support for the weekly. It's trying to double back. It's got a lot of resistance on the way up from that previous break. So is that going to be the bearish retracement and then the fall over? We're still running off of that whipsaw. So we had a throwback here. Nice hammer. So the hammer's still in play. I got an inverted hammer over support. Just looking for a previous high break. Is that the throwback or is that going to start falling over? Nice cup and handle on the long-term weekly chart. Let's see the VIX. The VIX is still building. See if we can get another pop on this so the rest of the indices will come down. Let's see on the daily what's going on here. Nice pop. Nice U. Nice inverted hammer over support. I think that's going to start it all right there. The pop, the throwback into support, the pop, come back into support. Support held today. Make sure that support holds. Right now that's an inverted hammer over support. You got the downward trend line, you got the 8, the 13, and the 34, all the lines of support that you need to justify that is an inverted hammer. So take out that inverted hammer on the upside and watch the S&P fall over at the same time. Crude. We're at resistance. Watch for crude to come back into support. At an A, B bottom, higher low, broke that flat top break, ran into resistance. I got the J curve cross, the 8 crossing over. So now I got time support. Right now I got a 2-bar pattern reversal. Watch it come into support. Where support's going to hold? It should hold at 52. Otherwise, watch it go across until it's ready to make another break across. But it looks like it made a hard run into resistance. Watch it float back into support. Float back, as in, not huge amounts of selling going on. It's going to step into support. Consolidating moves. Let's see. It's got to stay above previous highs. We got higher lows. It's going to come back into the pattern. It's a pretty large range on crude. But it waited too long. See that how long that was? It just waited. That break right here should have got us into the 60 range. Which on the long-term chart you can see the resistance. Next previous lows. But momentum died, it came back into support. So let's see this somehow get back above previous highs so it can take out this range, this small little range, and get ourselves up to 60. It's a weekly chart. And again, it's hitting resistance right now. So it looks like it's going to take a rest for the rest of the week. Unless something happens and it breaks previous highs so we can get back above into the next range. Coal. Let's take care of my crap. Nice bottom pattern there. So make sure we keep an eye out on that. That's a nice little pattern that broke out. Now we're at resistance again. I got the left shoulder, the head, maybe a right shoulder coming in right here. I'd like to see it pop always. I'd like to see it pop across the 34 and then put the right shoulder in. But that would just all depend on the strength of the move. But nice breakout on that bottom pattern. It's at resistance on the daily. Coming into resistance on the weekly. And I can't be for sure on the weekly if that's the actual bottom. Because the V, let's take care of my crap, broke down, came back into resistance. Resistance is coming in. Then we need to put an opposing point. That opposing point needs to hold. Nice move across, came back through. Nice bullish U. So I'm looking at bullishness, but lots of work to do because I got the 13 and the 34 right above here. I need to get above previous highs. Let's get it in and around 48, and then we can talk. But right now you got resistance going in, or coming in. Let's see. 10-year Treasury. They raised interest rates. This should be coming down. Still in the range though. I got a double top. It's holding the line. And through time, I'll gain support through time. So this either has to break down or just go sideways forever, I guess, until they raise interest rates again. And yeah, I'm bearish on that one. Bearish, bearish, bearish. I got a triple bottom here holding it up. But I got a breakdown, bearish retracement, rejected on that daily chart. Bearish on the 10-year still. And I think this one's bearish too, yeah. I was right about that one. Krakatoa, watch out below. Watch out below. It's gonna go in no man's land. That top pattern broke. So let's take a look. Some steel. Looks like a bearish retracement on steel. Watch out. It's got to put in the opposing point. Hopefully the support line will hold, which is 30. It broke down the 34, bearish retrace back into resistance. That's your best short right there. But anything could happen. Watch for volume if it wants to just pop on through, negating all resistance. Volume is the ultimate cure for these ailments. And this one's in a pretty diseased formation here. Cross it below the 34, back into resistance. That's a bearish retracement. So we'll have to see next couple days if steel can bust across into previous lows, get above that 34 and consolidate, or is it going to get rejected back into support? Support has to hold at 30. Looks like gold is popping. Let's get that across the flat top break. Once it gets above that flat top break, you can see the cup and the handle. That short little U. The V bottoms never work. Bam, bam, and then watch that U. That short, sweet U. So it hit resistance, throws back into support, short-term support, and then it pops. I'm looking for a pop into the next line of resistance. $12.60 is the mark. It's almost there. It looks like we're picking up steam here. Look at that. Come on, boys. Pick up the pace. I got a small little trend line here. Let me check on that in a second. Silver, same thing. Looks like it's picking up the pace as well. Let's look at the short term on silver. Come on, boys, we can do this. Stop dragging your feet. Stay above previous highs at all costs. Stay above previous highs. Use this as support. Remember, 1850 is the ultimate break on silver. So look for silver to go into resistance. 1850. Come back into support. I don't know where that's going to be. $18.50. Looks like we're breaking into previous lows, into the next range. Let's just ride that next range up into 1850. Okay, breaking into previous lows right now. There's your previous low, right where price is. That green line is the actual price line. So let's break into previous lows, right up the range, all the way up. 1850 is the big break. 1850, 1850. Let me see if I can help you with the long-term chart. 1850. Why is 1850 so important? It's because of the previous lows and the previous breaks. I got a previous breakout, back in 2009. Yeah. This breakout right here, 2000, no, it says 2010. So the breakout from 2010 rode up all the way to 50. Just boom. And then we slowly guided in and hit this previous lows, this little pattern right here, and then that broke. Now we're coming back into resistance, and then the bullish retracement, flat top break across 1850. Boom. That's what we're looking for. So long-term 1850 is key. We're at 1830. 1830. 1850 should get us to the next previous high at 21. 21 cracks. We take the 21, the previous low, 15 to 20, that's $6. That's 27. Look where the previous lows are. Now this is all guesstimation. You know, you can get a calculator out and get exactly. But a good guesstimation is we are on the way to get into previous lows. That is my long-term goal. Copper. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, copper. Let's take care of my crap. So it looks like we had a peak high. Where was that peak high? Previous lows. Previous lows of resistance. When you buy something, you gotta have some money management skills. Sell into resistance. Sell into next previous lows. So if this looks like a top pattern, it's gonna have to come back down into support. You can see how it's rolling over. You can see the 8 crossing now. You can see that roll over, the rounded top. Not exactly round, but it's not necessarily up either. So we crossed below the 8, back into the 8. That's a bearish retracement. Look for short-term bullish retracement. It's bullish retracement because it's above the 34. Look for a bullish retracement back into support. And that's what I got going on for copper. So let's get through that. Maybe it'll hold. Maybe it'll go sideways. Maybe previous lows won't break down. But I do have a momentum loss of a price action across the 8 back into the 8. The bearish retracement is in on the short term. if you got caught, for example, if you were trying to make money and you got caught and you crossed over the 34 or the 8 on the top pattern, you made a peak, crossed over the 8, wait for that that retracement back into the 8, and then that's your best. You can scale out. If you miss the top 2-bar pattern, watch it cross, watch it come back into resistance, and then that's your best scale out. You can scale out here, 1, 2, and then 3. That would be your scale out, but that's a weekly chart, so I wouldn't use that at all. I would scale out more likely on a day intraday chart. So that looks pretty bearish. Looks like a resistance being rejected so far, breaking previous lows. So you can see that that is not a hammer until it's being taken out on the top side. I got a hammer here too that was broken down. So watch out below as this hammer at 260 breaks down on the 60-minute chart on copper. Real quick, let's go to GDX. What is going on, GDX? Looks like you got a previous high break coming in. Wow. It's only an hourly chart, but a little bullishness there. A little show of spirit. There we go. This is our time. I do imagine that mining stocks and all this hoopla is coming to an end. Waiting. I think we're going to break that long-term trend line on the upside. Watch it break the trend line in the upside, get into resistance. What's your previous breaks? And then come back into support. Hold the line, turn around, flat top break across that previous high. The ultimate break on this, the ultimate flat top break on this from the bottom is going to be 25.50. So here we go. Here we go. Looks like a good daily start. GDXJ coming off a bottom. This looks all twisted and condobulated right here. It's all tight pop. It's been pretty tight. We got a reverse head and shoulders that came back through into support. Watch the flat top break at 38. Bam. Watch the miners roll. Nugget coming off that bottom. Got inverted hammer over support. That was the start. Broke that hammer right there. Watch for a previous high break. Maybe we will get a cup and handle break. Cup and handle. Maybe we will get a cup and handle break. Watch the $10 break. Almost there. Woo. Woo. Here we go. And JNUG. This thing's going to pop its lid. This thing has been accumulating right here for weeks. Ugh, pisses me off so much, but a nice cup and handle. Accumulation over those averages. Now it's churning. Inverted hammer. Watch the previous high breaks. Take your previous highs as your support on the way up. Previous high break on this is going to be 8. Let's get above 8 on this one. Let's get above 8 and then we'll talk. Let's take care of my crap. Nice cup and handle bottom right there. Just a cup and elongated accumulation right there. Never turned down below the 13. Now we have the 8 across. Now I'm above. Price is above 8 and 13. That's beautiful. Beauty. That's a beauty, eh? That's for my. That was my Canadian interpretation of Strange Brew. So Bitcoin hit previous highs all the way to 1160. So we're at resistance right now. I imagine now Bitcoin and all these altcoins, they're without manipulation. Now, I'm not saying there isn't manipulation, because there might be in certain ways, but there is not near manipulation as in big commercial banks on the ask holding the price down on on something that has a previous high break that should be running, and some jerk commercial bank with all the money sitting on the ask holding it down, gobbling up all the buys, and then pummeling the stock as a market maker. There's a bid and ask market makers for the equities. No, I don't see that too much in there might be some big boys with some cash, but there's no market makers. There's buyers and sellers, and that's it. So what I'm trying to say is Bitcoin trades more like a free market should, and it does what it should. It it just like it. You forget what technical analysis is all about, because there's no manipulation. If it does one thing, you do one thing. If it does another, you do the other. There's there's a reason. There's a rhyme and reason for this Bitcoin. It came from a bottom, came into resistance, and it seems to flow between support and resistance lines. There's no. It's hard to explain, but if you pay attention to the level 2 market makers, and you know technical analysis, and you watch a previous high break, some jackass stops the movement with a million shares that you got to get through before the move happens. And you see that crap all the time. It's because they're manipulating the stock. But you don't see this. You don't see that on here. You might get some jackass with a bunch of money on the ask, but once it breaks, that jackass moves out of the way. It doesn't sit there with huge amounts of printed contracts, unlimited printed contracts holding the price down. I mean, it's a totally different market. It trades like a free market. I've been trading these altcoins with my client, and I gotta say, I haven't made this much money in a long time. So, um, if you want to make some money, I suggest that until we get a free market in these equities, I'm all for the miners this next move. I think we'll all make some good money on this next miners move. But as a whole market as a whole, to make money, I know it's hard, but it's not impossible. So, but if you want to make easy money, if you want to watch some stocks do what they do because of reasons of technical analysis, when it breaks previous highs, it runs into the next previous lows like clockwork. There's no jackass holding it down, and it takes months. It breaks previous highs, and it's like a shuttle leaving the atmosphere. It just fills the gap, and then it lets out. It trades like I remember it trading like it was 1999, before all this manipulation came through with computers. Trade like it's 1999. So look into the altcoins. How I did it, I know it's a mystery. How I did it is I put a few $100s into Coinbase. I took Coinbase and I transferred those Bitcoins into Poloniex, where the trading platform is. And it's a lot of fun. Plus it trades 24/7. And if you know me, on the weekends, it's like there's nothing to do because the stock market's closed. Well, not the Bitcoin market. You can trade it 24/7. It's That's like, oh my God, so much fun. For example, the best one I saw move a couple weeks ago, the thing ran up 3,000%. Well, that's not the end of it because it came all the way back down to 1,000% and ran all the way back up to 3,000%. It was one of the best. Oh my God, 3,000%. Can you imagine? You'd be hard pressed to find anything that goes up 100% nowadays in the stupid equities market. It's just totally different. And it trades like it's supposed to. Unbelievable. So we're at resistance on Bitcoin. Watch it come into support as it's overextended. It's far and away from its averages. It's either going to go sideways or come back into support. But yeah, watch the long-term break on Bitcoin. I just can't imagine not understanding what's going on here. A previous high break on this is going to be a measured move. You take the top of the pattern and the bottom of the pattern, and you take a measured move. This thing's going to take off like a bandit. It's not ready yet. It's at resistance on the short term, but on the monthly, it's really, really close. Oh my God, this thing's going to be a huge break. I already saw one go up 3,000%, and then on a normal basis, you see him go up 500, 300, 100. It's just crazy. Anywho's, I don't even know if it's real money or not, but it sure is a hell of a lot of fun. Let's look at gold and silver ratio. Let's see. Let's take care of my crap. I got a double top. I remember screaming and yelling that was the best time to buy silver. You buy 83 ounces per 1 ounce of gold. So now it's down to about 68. Right? Did I say that right? 83 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold. That's what I meant. I don't know if I said that right. But it looks like silver's going to get some cheap, unless that's a double bottom. That looks like a bearish retracement rejection. And it looks like it's going to come through. So it looks like silver's going to be a best buy. No, silver was the best buy up here. So it looks like gold is being the best buy. And watch for a breakdown as gold can become a better buy for the next couple months, few months. That's a monthly chart. And you can see that breakdown, but nice U though. Pay attention to those U's. Those U's. But that first pump, that would be bearish retracement. So looks like gold's going to be a winner, a better buy. But still, what do you got to do? 68 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold. I'm still a silver bug. So, all right, let's look at AG. Bam! Come on, previous high breaks. Off and running. Let's see how high we can get this mofo. AG's doing good. Nice previous break. Still below the 34. We're still got a lot of work to do, but that's a nice bottom. Double bottom, higher lows. Let's get this thing cracking. I gotta break that that neckline. I gotta get above that neckline. Let's get to 10. Come on, boys. NAK still having some trouble there. Came across, we spotted that bottom, came into double top, came into support. Still riding support. Watch a previous high break about 160 and get it across that 34 again and maybe continue the trend. I think someone wants URRE. It's almost there. Got an inverted hammer. Remember that inverted hammer I spoke of? Usually the inverted hammer over support, I've noticed lately. Oh, that's not an inverted hammer. Where was that? I know I saw something. Saw something. Maybe it was this. Sorry, no inverted hammer. False alarm. But anyways, watch those inverted hammers when it crosses the 34, and then it let's see if I can draw this. You know, we get an inverted hammer where the price goes up, and then it comes all the way back in, creating a nice little inverted hammer over support. Those inverted hammers over support, you got to watch for those. That's the start. The pop, come back into that whole pattern right there is a bullish retracement pattern. The pop came back into support, closing a inverted hammer. Oh, come on. I'm not used to working with this. Nice candle work. Alright, so URRE. I like that long-term chart. It already popped, came back, and it's coming back into support. Now there's a hammer. Stay above that hammer. Let's break previous highs, get this thing running again. Remember, when they run, it takes a while for them to rest and recover. But it's recovered nicely. Watch the previous high breaks. This could get another pop into the 3 range. Pop. And just real quick, Ivanhoe. Take care of the crap. Ivanhoe's coming into a previous high. It's got 50 cents to move before it breaks that previous high, so it's got resistance on the way up. It's a weekly chart. Huge long-wicked hammer there, and it's continuing that momentum. See if we can get a better look. Better look there. Nice hammer, got the cross. Look for previous high breaks. This is going to continue on the upside. Looks like 4 and above. 4 and above on Ivanhoe. Boom. Just going to cut it short there. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. I will take in consideration everyone's advice on monetizing. So it's just everyone knows I'm leaning towards a monthly service for stock picks, for mining picks, and trying to get into a chat room where we can all trade ideas. That's where I learned most of my stuff back in the day. We were all on this Yahoo Messenger kick. Everyone had a Yahoo Messenger. We all had a private room, and we all learned from each other. That's what we need to do. The bankers are our enemy, and look into the altcoins. Remember, buy into Coinbase. Now, I just have to warn you that the IRS is looking at injunctions for Coinbase to hand over their account owners. So don't put a huge amount of money into Coinbase. But then once you get it into Coinbase, transfer it over to Poloniex. And I only used Coinbase once. I dropped off a couple $100, put it in there, and then I transferred into Poloniex, and that was it. I haven't used Coinbase since. For one, I don't like the IRS at all, so I don't want to get twisted and churned with their lawsuits. But look at the Poloniex. Put your money over there, and find my YouTube channel for the altcoins. Not a lot of subscribers, but I think that it's going to be growing here fast. But again, the service will be altcoins. The service will be mining. The service will be equities. And the daily reviews will be free. I think we'll have a lot of fun. I think you guys are awesome. Thanks. See ya.